2. Hi guys, Blake and Matt from footballwiz.co.uk, and we're back on the review game reviewing the Floodlights Mercurial Superfly 5. Excited?
I'm very excited. If there's one pair of boots that I love testing myself, it is the Nike Mercurial Superfly, because it makes me feel a little bit quicker than I actually am, so I can't wait to lace these up and give them a test.
Let's go.
So you guys are on our Football Boots website looking for a pair of boots for you. Now you like the Nike Mercurial Superfly 5, but is it going to fit you? Now I'd definitely recommend players with narrow feet to wear the Superfly 5. If you do have excessively wide feet, I'd probably stay away from the Superfly 5. Now in terms of the sizing, definitely go true to size. I'm a UK 10.5, these are UK 10.5, and I wouldn't go half a size smaller or half a size bigger. Definitely go true to size. Now next up, you're going to be wanting to know what the braking is. So you've just bought these pair of boots from our website. Now you want to get them on the pitch for your matches, but just give yourself several sessions to fully break in. Because of that speed rib upper, it is slightly stiffer than what you found on the Superfly 4 if you did wear them. So take these down to the training ground for a few sessions before actually wearing them for your matches.
The upper on the Mercurial Superfly is made of Flynet like on the Superfly 4, and we see this new speed rib design on the medial side of the boot. It's much thicker than what we see on the lateral side of the boot. Really designed to provide a bit of structure to the boot and the upper, as well as friction on top of the ball. Really innovative design, and it helps the upper to become much more responsive. Overall, I'm a big fan of the upper on the Superfly 5. Now the Superfly 5 features a mid-cut dynamic fit collar, which is a compressive, elasticated material which wraps the ankle for a sock-like feel and fit, overall making the boot much more responsive than the low-cut traditional Vapor 11. Overall, it's not a feature liked by everyone, as the likes of Eden Hazard, a big Mercurial wearer, he actually prefers the Vapor 11 over the Superfly 5. And on feet itself, it is a feature which may take some time to actually break in. And again, we see flywire or brio cables applied to the Superfly 5, further locking down your foot into the shoe. It merges with the central lacing system and the contoured sole plate to really lock down your foot into the shoe. It's arguably the most responsive boot on the market. So in my opinion, the main talking point about the Superfly 5 is this new contoured sole plate. So it's not the carbon fiber sole plate we saw on the Superfly 4. It's 40% lighter than that sole plate. Definitely a good thing for a speed boot. And we see a chevron stud design, so they're all sort of pointing that way. Designed for braking on the heel and accelerating on the forefoot. Overall, the sole plate is very responsive. It mirrors the shape of your foot. I'm a big fan of this sole plate. A feature we saw on the Superfly 5 is the ACC or All Conditions Control technology, which does provide a consistent touch in wet and dry conditions. Nothing new there. So an integral part of a speed boot is the weight of the Superfly 5, which is 217 grams or 7.6 ounces, which is actually much lighter than the Superfly 4 boot. Overall, a decent weight for a speed boot.
So we've already mentioned how high performing the new sole plate and also stud configuration is, but the speed rib upper also does perform very well. But how does it actually feel? Now it's slightly stiffer than what you found on the Superfly 4, and that is literally because of the speed ribs are there just to give the upper a little bit more structure, which aids responsiveness. Now it is very high performing, but the comfort, as always on the Superfly boot, isn't going to be the same as what you'll find on a classic leather pair of boots. So if you do want a very comfortable pair of boots, then maybe go for something else, even Nike Tiempo Legend 6, because the upper is just slightly stiffer than what you found on other pairs of boots.
So the colorway of the Mercurial Superfly 5 Floodlights editions opts for a purple and orange design. So mostly orange is what we see on the medial side, and mostly purple is what we see on the lateral side. Orange colors the Swiss logos and stud tips, black on the sole plate. Overall, a very bold and bright colorway to light up your feet for the winter months.
So when Love All Soccer told us that they were going to be sending us the Floodlight Pack Superfly 5, one of my favourite things to test about them is just how responsive they are. Now trust me when I say this, the new layered nylon chassis sole plate really does contour with your foot for a really high level of snug fit and responsiveness. And the new chevron shaped stud configuration does give you so much traction, especially if you are going to play on 3G surfaces, but also firm ground surfaces. Now, if you do want to purchase these pair of boots, then head over to our website and use the black-orange code for 10% off from Level Soccer itself.
Now, Performance Pros with the Superfly 5, it's arguably going to be the most responsive boot on the market. You've got the contoured sole plate, a central lacing system, Brio cables, making these boots very, very responsive. As well as that, it's going to have a very, very barefoot touch to the bull. It's not going to be like any leather boot on the market. It's got a very thin upper. The chevron stud system and contoured sole plate is the key feature to the Superfly 5, and it's also very lightweight. And in terms of performance cons, the Superfly 5's dynamic fit collar is not a feature liked by everyone. The boots also possess a very, very narrow fit, and the upper is very thin. It's not going to help in the protection department. As well as that, you get that same heel pressure you experienced with the Superfly 4. So what's our overall verdict of the Mercurial Superfly 5 Floodlights edition? Personally, I'm a big fan of the boot. I would have preferred no collar on the Superfly 5, like what we see on the Vapor 11. What do you think, matey?
Well, there's no doubt that the Superfly 5 is a very expensive pair of boots. But if you do have the money and you purchase a pair, then you know you're going to get a really high quality level product. Trust me, I've worn these and they are very responsive. That sole plate and stud configuration take traction to all new levels, so try these out if you do have the money for them.
So guys, would you buy a pair of the Superfly 5 or would you go for something like the Vapor 11? Please vote in our poll card now and comment below with which boot you would choose. Thank you very much for watching, and as always,
we'll see you next time.